Testing. This is another test. It's been a while since I've done this test. Hey, this is Rudolf from Omni Systems Limited. A little dev commentary here about Bioframe. We have an interesting situation with Bioframe where we have a very dynamic ecosystem. Creatures react to each other in all kinds of different ways, which can lead to unexpected outcomes. I was confronted with a nice example of this. One of my colleagues was looking to have an achievement where everything is photographed once, and that includes a wasp nest. Here's a wasp nest. This thing here. Let me take a photo. There you go, it's this thing. Unfortunately, when they were trying to get this achievement done, every wasp nest he found was destroyed. So I investigated. There's only 3 wasp nests in the game, and in this particular location I found this situation. We have wasps flying around. We have this thing here, a glow plant shooting lasers at enemies, and the wasps themselves, they fly around near these gas puffers, and when they get too close they set them off, and I'm hoping to show you in a second what that means. Let's see if we can catch one of them. Like that one there. There. Now see those seeds falling down? Did you see it hit the wasp nest? And here's another one. Here we go. That one just missed it. But if we zoom out a bit further, eventually this is going to go wrong. Slowly but surely the equilibrium here is going to change. That one, there you go, that wasp nest is nearly destroyed now. It is also worth noting that the actual laser plant attacking all these wasps is slowly being attacked by the alien skrillions, the little red blobs. And over time, let me get a bit closer, he will get infected and he will no longer be picking out these wasps one by one. And once this glow plant, this laser plant, is actually infected, and it will happen over time, he no longer will pick out all those rainbow wasps, making it even more likely that they will set off those big pufferballs in the sky, again accelerating the demise of the wasp nest. Investigating that problem with the wasp nest, here I found another one. Wasp nest near some butterflies. Unfortunately, I didn't realize when I made this level that these butterflies are a bit close to that wasp nest, and they have become quite efficient with some AI upgrades in finding enemies to attack. It doesn't happen all the time, but various things can trigger it. It can be proximity, or they can be lured there by a wasp who strays too far from the nest. And wasps and butterflies are natural enemies. The wasps will chase them, which gets them even closer to the nest. We can probably see that happening in a sec. It's a matter of time. Eventually, either the butterflies will find the nest, or they will see the wasp, start chasing, and do enough damage for the situation to change quite seriously. Oh, here we go. Look at him go, chasing that poor wasp. Weighted down, by the way. They're much slower to react, making them easier prey for the butterfly mites. There we go. 2 of them in one go. And see, it takes a little while, but the butterflies themselves, the butterfly mites I should say, they have their own nest. Right, here it is. And every time it's one of the butterfly mites is destroyed, a new one will spawn from this nest. So there's an infinite supply of aggression here, and eventually they will take that wasp nest down. Again, it's nicely emergent. Lessons can be learned from this by the player, which is the whole point really. But if you're unlucky, certain things will get destroyed in the game that are better off not destroyed, or might make it hard to fulfill certain achievements. The fun thing is, of course, that once you understand how these things work and the potential for mischief, is that you can manipulate the game into creating exactly those results. In this case, I'm going to try and get the attention of some of these butterflies. Here we go. And get them to follow me near some wasps. There we go. Let's see if that's enough. That's it. It's destroyed. As you can see, you can no longer photograph this nest. It has been destroyed. The same result could have been achieved in all kinds of ways. You have many tools available to manipulate creatures to do certain things. So, for example, throwing food in the vicinity of enemies can be very useful. Similarly, you can leave traps with food. So, for example, I happen to know, and in fact you can see on the right, that wasps like yellow berries. I have a few yellow berries, so if I leave a few here, or more, then it is only a matter of getting a wasp close enough to notice the food. For example, by making them chase me, or just, you know, trusting that they will spot the food in time. Here we go. They found the food, the butterflies found the wasp. It doesn't take much. And now he's stunned. You can keep attacking him, lure more butterflies to him, because they prefer wasps over humans. And this wasp is going to be out of commission for a little while. And if you do it in the strategic spot, it will become a butterfly mite magnet. That was a very interesting case. We should have a look at the details of it and do a little bit of analysis to explain how this mystery came about. To get to the root of all this, we really should go back to the original game design choices and why we made them. And that all stems from our plan to give game players an environment that is deeply dynamic. We wanted to create a gameplay situation where the environment itself is a resource. That means that situations aren't inherently good or bad. Creatures aren't inherently enemies or friends. Pickups aren't inherently positive or negatives for the player. It all depends on what you do with it within the context of a deeply dynamic ecosystem. As you saw in the video, butterfly mites can be dangerous to the player. They can be dangerous to the wasp nests. That explains some of them being destroyed. They can be dangerous to wasps. But because we can manipulate that situation, they can actually help us. They can take down enemies for us. Same thing with the fruit. If you stand close to those ochre berries, they attract dangerous wasps, causing issues. However, you can equally use it as a resource, throw them about and create a tar pit of sorts, a magnet, a trap for the same wasps. And for that to be viable, we had to make the environment, the ecosystem, independent, because none of this would be fun if there's only ever one reaction. We wanted the environment to react to the things that live in it, the plants, the animals, the food sources. They all have to interact dynamically but completely independent from the player. And then that opens up a path for the player to go in and start poking things in funny ways and chaining reactions and mechanics together to create completely emergent outcomes. And this is all well and good, and I think we've succeeded in that, and it created a game that is quite unique. However, as people with experience in emergent gameplay will tell you, there's also a danger. When you have such an independent system and such a range of emergent outcomes, things will start to happen that you haven't designed. That is the point, that is fun for players. At the same time, you will get unintended consequences. Now, despite the fact that that is somewhat dangerous, like this little mystery proves, I think this is a positive. It makes for a world that is much more alive. It makes for a huge expanded possibility space, and it makes for player empowerment. While this video doesn't show that many examples, it is a fact with this game that players can come up with all kinds of wildly different solutions to problems. They become the authors of their own gameplay, and that has to be a worthwhile goal, and we will keep trying to do that with our games. But it has to be said, one has to be careful, and you have to test the systems very, very carefully to make sure that they are balanced. With that final note of caution, I'm going to wrap up this OSB investigation. I have a lot more cases to investigate, and I hope you will enjoy solving these mysteries along with me. I personally find it quite useful as a designer, and it's a really fun way to dive into the real world game design and level design questions that pop up when you're making a game like this. So if you find this interesting and you'd like to see more videos like this, well, you know what to do. While I record the next video, check out some of the other videos that I've made in the past, if you like, or wait for the post-credit scene. Yes, there is one. In this case, I'm going to try and get the attention of some of these butterflies. Oh, and get them to follow me. Oh, you see? Nicely attracted, to the nest. Oh, these berries specifically. So, that means you can't do that achievement anymore. I'm going to do a blooper reel, because this is just amazing. How often I do this. We listen carefully to our fans and listeners and viewers, so if you have ideas, if you have suggestions, put them in the comments below or tell us in person. Just don't be shy.